Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Ken from the Information Nation, and we're bringing you more stuff. That's right, more stuff. Hey, for those of you who don't realize, I'd like to point something out. California right now has got a bill called Senate Bill 140 coming up. And let me see what we got here. The bill is scheduled for its first hearing in the Senate Health Committee on Wednesday, April 8th at the state capitol in Sacramento. And it's strongly urged that members of SFATA, non-members, and industry stakeholders attend the meeting and oppose the bill. Now, SB 140 points of opposition define vapor products as tobacco products, equate cigarettes with e-cigarettes. Attempt to include products defined as nicotine regardless of the source. Public use prohibition, no vaping where smoking is prohibited, public parks, etc. Change in how vaping can be prohibited in rental, lease, multi-unit apartment dwellings, etc. No vaping in the workplace, including vape shops. No more self-service, unassisted handling of products or sampling liquids or flavors. No exemption for vapor retailers who allow vaping in their store. No vaping in group homes, small family homes, transitional housing, or by foster families, and no vaping in your motor vehicle with a minor present, whether in motion or at rest. Now, the sponsor of this bill, and I'm going to show you how we fight these bastards. The sponsor of this bill, the guy who came up with this, is Mark Leno. Mark Leno is a senator in the state of California. Now, how do you handle something like this? You expose him for the scumbag that he is. Because guess who his contributors are? Big Pharma, Genentech, GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson & Johnson, Gilead, AstraZeneca, Baxter Healthcare, Aventis Pharmaceuticals, Hoffman, LaRoche, Pharma, EMD, Sereno, and California Biotechnology. Do you think any of these companies might just happen to make the patch, the Nicorette patch? Or maybe the gum? They have a big stake in this, because I'm going to tell you something right now. I started vaping. I quit smoking the same day, and I haven't touched a cigarette since. We've got to call these bastards out for what they are. They're shills. That's all they are. You know, the only way to get rid of a cockroach, turn on the light and watch them scurry all over the place. They don't want to be, he does not want to be attached, and neither do any of these pharmaceutical companies want to be attached to something that is going to hurt the population. And they're going to say, well, you know, this bill is being sponsored by the American Cancer Society, the American Heart Association, and the American Lung Association. Yeah, they're scumbags too. Let's get right down to reality. The reality is anything that might take $1 away from any of these associations, any of these organizations, they're going to turn around and they're going to fight it. So what you do, it's time we fought these people back. We got to fight these people back. Plain and simple. We can't put up with this anymore, and the only way to fight them is to fight them on their own turf. Hurt them in their pocket. You know, we've been on defense too damn long, and it's time to go on offense and start exposing these congressmen because, hey, you have an interest here. Congressman, Senator, you have an interest. You have a personal vested interest in seeing that this legislation passes. Why? Because your contributors want it passed. The people that contribute to your campaign, you know, the ones that put money in your pocket so you can get reelected, so you can screw the American people, they have a vested interest in this. So therefore, so do you. We've got to get off of defense and get on offense. We've got to take the ball away from them, and we've got to start pushing legislation, pushing these people back into their little black holes, making the cockroaches run for cover by turning on the light. You know, they don't want to be exposed. They do not want to be exposed at all. Just like a cockroach doesn't want to be exposed to the light. And neither do these people. And it's time that we got on offense. So every time you see a bill, no matter what state you live in, look it up. Find out who is sponsoring the bill. Find out who wrote the bill. And then what you turn around and do is you find out who their contributors are. And if it's Big Pharma or Big Tobacco or anybody else with a vested interest to shut down vaping, expose them. And let me tell you something. If you can expose the guy who wrote the legislation and you start exposing the sponsors, the people that sign on to the bill, guess what? They're going to have a harder time finding people to sign on to the bills because they don't want to be exposed either. And they're going to turn around and tell the guy, I'm not putting my political career up for you or for your contributors. No, this is not going to happen. These companies are making billions, and they're going to continue to make billions. You know, this guy Leno wrote a quote, and he said, if they don't do something about vaping, that they're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people, you know, just like they did to the tobacco industry. He's trying to tie vaping into tobacco. And we can no longer tolerate this. So it's time, people, it's time to go on offense. Find out who they are, find out who their contributors are, expose them for what they are, and get to the news media. Write articles. You know, they all have op-ed sections in the newspapers and that. Write an article about it. Expose this guy. Say, hey, you know, this guy here, he's pushing this legislation. Why? Because his contributors are the big pharmaceutical companies who are afraid that they're going to lose business. I quit smoking the day I started vaping. Quit. That was it. I haven't had a cigarette since the day I picked up my vape. And there's a lot of other people who have the same result. There's a lot of other people who have drastically cut back on their tobacco use. This is the best device. You know what it is? They're scared of technology. This is technology that's helping save people's lives, and they're scared of it. They want to turn around and demonize this the same way they demonize tobacco for only one reason, personal gain. That's pure evil, people. If they had any sense of responsibility to the people, they'd be saying, wait a minute here. Vaping, it's getting people off of cigarettes, and it's not harmful. You know, the American Heart Association, let me call this article back up here. The American Heart Association, they're sponsoring this bill. Why? When we have cardiologists, such as Dr. Farsalinos, who says there's nothing in vaping that's going to hurt anybody. Other scientists, the evidence of the safety of vaping is starting to snowball to the effect of being a massive landslide. It's just one article, one research after another that is trying to tell these people they're morons for trying to hinder vaping. It's time to go on offense. It's time to start exposing these people for what they are. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been Ken for the Information Nation, bringing you more stuff. Hey, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with other people, other vapors. Let's get the word out there. But in the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Have a great day.